The new depths of the Illusive Realm is finally back, and it is better than ever. With a wide array of adjustments to progression and fantastic new additions across combat stages, characters, and even echo skills, there's a ton for players to experiment with as they work towards claiming these amazing rewards. It's a game mode that we've seen refreshed several times over the lifetime of Wuthering Waves, and Kuro has been making constant improvements to enhance the player experience all around. Today we'll be diving into what these big changes are, highlighting where Kuro has made additions, where to access all of these new features, and some general gameplay tips across your playthroughs to get the most out of this game mode. There's been a lot of changes, and many of them will bring a lot of freshness in your playthroughs. As always, if you're enjoying this content, please hit that like and subscribe button. The first item of note when it comes to 1.2's new Illusive Realm is all of the new characters that you'll have available. The new additions to the Illusive Realm roster are Zheja, Danjin, and Yan Wu, with Zhang Liyao available in the latter half of the patch. These characters will all come with their own unique skill upgrades that augment their baseline kit, much like every other character. Unfortunately, we still have to wait a while longer for some of the oldest members of the roster to get their debut. Maybe next patch. Players familiar with 1.1's Illusive Realm might notice something odd about the character selection screen. You can't select any memes to modify your reward rate. These were a fantastic way of adding some additional rewards to your clear in exchange for more difficult gameplay, and vice versa as well. While the early difficulty modes will not have memes enabled and progression might seem a bit slow, these memes will be re-enabled once you reach the highest level difficulty of 90. These memes will be the exact same as the ones that we saw in prior patches. However, that symphony rank that progresses from C to S within your gameplay will still be present in all difficulties. The next big update is in how you select your companions, or in this update, Concerto companions. Rather than selecting a companion and gaining them immediately, you'll have an option of companions to select after the first 2 rest areas of any run. After selecting a companion, you'll fight a stage with the companion claimable as a reward. You'll get a nice little dialogue with each companion, but this doesn't change between runs, so make use of that skip button when you need it. You can also skip claiming the companions completely in exchange for 300 dream fragments, but with how powerful these companions are, I don't recommend it. Another big addition here is the inclusion of Danjin as one of the Concerto companions, complete with her AoE grouping potential. The next big additions players will find in their first few runs is a new echo skill, Dreamless. Dreamless builds on this Concerto companion mechanic by automatically activating them once your Concerto meter is filled, giving massive buffs to the entire party with more arrow upgrades. This echo skill might have a lot of potential, especially with characters like Jin C, who can benefit from the off-field coordinated attacks on many of these companions' abilities. Concerto companions also have their own set of unique metaphors that highly incentivize the use of their skills, granting big bonuses like crit and attack boosts once they take the field. There are a fantastic number of other new metaphors as well, such as one that gives you 100% Concerto energy upon a perfect dodge, which synergizes amazingly with Dreamless. We've only gotten into the new mechanics, and these changes have already exceeded a lot of what we've seen in 1.1. There's also been many new changes to the gameplay as well. There's been a completely new tile set introduced with version 1.2, with a big emphasis on dreams and imagination. Instead of breaking rocks for additional memory fragments and metaphors, you'll be breaking inflatable flamingos. These are a lot easier to notice than the rocks, so you're far less likely to skip these bonuses on your runs. With these new tile sets come new enemies as well, and you'll be faced with all of the new mobs from version 1.1, so prepare yourself for encounters with the Glacial Dreadmane and the Light Crusher. I know some people are still scarred from fighting these in the overworld. However, these changes to the environment and the enemies aren't the only big updates players will notice in their playthroughs. The types of doors and the contents of those doors have been updated as well. There is a lot more variety when it comes to the memory of the unknown doors. While you may still have a chance chance of obtaining boring rewards like a single key for an attribute, there are now many highly rewarding doors you can encounter instead. Some involve a dodging minigame where you're attacked by multiple ranged enemies, others have you taking down a tanky turtle within a time limit for up to 3,000 dream fragments, whilst others simply have you talking to an NPC before obtaining massive rewards like 2 gold metaphors or even 10 common ones. It's safe to say that these Memory of the Unknown doors might be some of the best options to take. There also seems to have been a massive increase in the number of metaphors available across your runs, so it should be a lot easier to max out your Echo skill's ability across your playthroughs and actually clear. However, these aren't the only doors that were changed. The Memory of Deathmatch doors now usually consist of a single elite enemy that you have to defeat in a time limit. These seem to grant similar rewards to the Memory of Fierce Struggle, while potentially being a bit faster to complete. So these doors are a fantastic option as well if you're looking to grind up those elusive specimens. Not all of these changes, however, are additions. Scar, highlighted significantly in 1.1's Illusive Realm, was the main source of tokens in your runs. Scar has been removed completely, aside from appearing as a boss on some of the Calamity stages, but you'll still be able to claim tokens from NPCs after clearing other stages. There have been a ton of new tokens added as well, with many of them giving big damage boosts after meeting some specific conditions. Dreamless is the final encounter in the later difficulties of the Illusive Realm. There aren't any noticeable changes here from the weekly boss fight other than some creepy dialogue in the middle of the fight. At the end of the day, a roguelike wouldn't be complete without its upgrades, and there have been some big changes here. While general upgrades like damage, HP, and metaphor reset increases have remained the same, there are some incredible new upgrades available. One of these will immediately raise any character and their equipped weapon to a minimum of 80, regardless of how much you've invested in them. This will make completing some of the character-specific achievements a lot more manageable for players. Another upgrade revives your character with 50% health upon taking fatal damage. These are both fantastic additions that should help limit some of the frustration in this game mode. However, these upgrades aren't the only rewards players can get after their runs. We have to go over the shop as well. This shop is completely loaded, with around 400 Astrite, the Phantom Dreamless Echo skin, and a massive amount of experience, tuners, credits, and of course, the selectable 3-cost Echoes. There's also upgrade materials for Jeja and Zhongli, and even more rewards available once the final difficulty is released alongside Zhongli. The devs did, in fact, listen, and they have been listening for a long time. Overall, this Illusive Realm update has been one of the biggest ones yet, and there is a lot to look forward to. While the initial progression and rewards have been slowed down by the lack of memes in the lower difficulties, the new game modes and metaphors have spiced up gameplay significantly, and we can only hope Kuro expands more and more on the Illusive Realm in the future, because it has been an absolute blast creating some of these loadouts. As always, if you enjoyed this content, please hit that like and subscribe button. Peace out.